Hi guys, how are you? It's Natalie at Legacy Property Management, and I thought I would just sit here at my desk and go on our website and go on our frequently asked questions for owners and just kind of read them through and kind of add a little bit of context to them. I do feel like they have really good descriptions, but I know some people are better learners with a little bit more explanation, and not everybody learns the best by reading. So what's the hurt in kind of going through them? So the first question on here is, who will be my main point of contact if I have questions or concerns about my property? You will have an assigned property manager. So the way the property managers are kind of set up is everybody has their own region. So dependent on where your property is, kind of is the deciding factor of which property manager you get. So that person will be the one, each time you call in, that's who you'd ask for. That's gonna be the person you have your annual investment reviews with. So that is your person. Each question you have, you know who to ask and you know who to kind of expect calls from. How do I log into my owner portal? So you'll go on our website, rentlegacy.com, and on the right-hand corner, there's going to be a login button. There's going to be two options. One of them is going to be the tenant login section, and the other one will be for the owner. You'll click on the owner. Unless you are a tenant watching this, then log on the tenant one. But if you're an owner, you'll log on the owner one and you'll log into your portal there. How can I submit an owner contribution? So same way, you'll log into that owner portal and you will submit, you'll find the button that says submit owner contribution, and you will submit whatever the amount of funds that you need to provide to us. When should I expect my owner draw? We send those funds out on the last business day of the month. So rent is due between the 1st and the 5th, and we send them out on the last business day of the month. This is just to make sure that all of the accounting is done. Bills are paid. Some of our owners have us pay HOA. We pay landscaping out for some of our owners, just to make sure we have the funds in the account to pay all of those bills that are incoming. Utilities is another important one to take into consideration. There's quite a few of our owners where we're responsible for those bills. So that would be the reasoning for that. So they're sent out last business day, typically available on the following day. How do I read my owner statement? So there's, I believe, two different ways that you can set up your owner statements to be read. There's two different ways. So one of them I believe is a little bit more intricate, and one of them is like the easy way. I do want you to feel free to ask your property manager for help in reading these statements. We do want you to be able to read them, understand the information that's being provided on this statement. They're super useful. You'll get one monthly, and then you also get an annual one along with the 1099 for your taxes. Your property manager should have a meeting link within their email signature. That's going to be the best way to schedule a call with them at a time that you both are available. Schedule a call with them, ask them to kind of go through the best way to understand them. We want you to understand them. Why name your property manager as additionally insured? So yes, we do require that we're listed as additionally insured on your policy. We need to be listed as additionally insured just for the liability. So you need to have your normal homeowner's insurance. We need to be listed as additionally insured. Insurance is a little funky in our lovely state of California right now. So some insurance policies, some agents don't love doing that right now. And because of that, we went and got a general master liability policy that we can enroll our owners into. Our plan offers $1 million of liability coverage, and it does include pet bites. So if that's something you're interested in and you don't want to make alterations to your existing homeowner's policy, you can totally do that. You'll be charged on a monthly basis to be enrolled in ours, and it's $29.99 a month. How do you handle maintenance requests from tenants? So tenants will have a portal just like you do that they can place work orders within. They can also call or email, but we do definitely try to have them put them in through the portal. It's going to depend on what it is. So it depends on if it's something that is a habitability concern or if it's just something as simple as like a light fixture is not functioning. So it depends on the urgency. If they put in a work order, their water heater is not working, we're going to need to address that very quickly. So that's us making a phone call to you. Hey, tenants put in a work order about their water heater. We need to get a plumber out today and assess it. Does it need to be repaired? Does it need to be replaced? Ideally, we want to fix that same day. On the other hand, it's, something that's non-urgent. We'll get an estimate, we'll get your approval, and then we'll get it done as soon as we can. But definitely the level of urgency, whatever the problem is going to be, it's going to be kind of like the dictator of how long it's going to take us to get to it. But yes, ideally we want them to put it within their work order, and you also have access to the work orders that they're placing within the tenant portal. You can see all of those. 24 hot. Do you have a 24-hour maintenance hotline? Yes, we do. So we have a number that tenants can call after hours if it's something that's urgent. They will notify the property manager and we can dispatch a vendor. It's only for urgent things. We're not going to come out after hours and replace a light bulb in their fridge. But if the heater's not working, or again, water heater, it's always a good example. We'll definitely try to get that fixed for them, even after hours. A leak, definitely, it's good to be available after hours for emergency items. How are rental rates determined? So what I like to do, I like to run a report. We have a software that we use where I can pick the radius and I can pick the time frame. I like to do within the last 6 months, and I like to keep it within a mile. So I like to look at the average that provides. So it'll show me, just for example, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath in the last 6 months in a mile radius. So that'll give me a nice average. And then I like to go on Zillow. Zillow is not always the most accurate place to find your information, but it is very accurate when you're looking at active listings. So I like to go on there and just see what's on the market right now. If you put yourself in the position of a tenant that's looking for a rental, that's what they're going to be looking. And all of the ones that are currently on the market are the ones that they're going to be comparing your rental to. So you want to see, you kind of want to get ahead of the tenant. You want to see what they're going to be seeing. That's a really good way to find a good comp and a good rate to list your property at. What are reserve funds and how are they used? We always hang on to $500 in your account. So this is going to be for emergency items. Good example I like to use for owners is if a tenant calls us and says, there's water all over my kitchen floor, something under the sink is leaking. We are not calling you first in that circumstance. In that situation, we're not calling you, we're calling a plumber. We need to get somebody out there right away to assess what's going on to stop the leak. We want to prevent any further damage from happening at the property, and we just need to stop the leak. Depending on what the actual issue is, we may have to get an estimate to actually do a real repair to the problem, but to at least stop the leak, we're not getting an estimate. So that would be taken from that $500 reserve that we have. Another super simple example would be when we're out doing an inspection and we're checking that safety equipment, and let's say the smoke detector's expired or it's just not functioning. We're swapping that baby out right there. It's a huge liability for you, huge liability for us now that we're managing the property. And then I should say too, whenever we use any of those funds from that $500, we're going to be replenishing that with the rent. So it always stays at $500. Can legacy property management pay my bills? Yes, we can. So we have some owners even have us pay their mortgages. We pay our HOA or owner's HOA for a lot of them. Some owners we pay utility bills for. So yes, short answer, yes, we can definitely pay bills for you. How is the tenant security deposit handled? So tenant moves out and we are going to send one of the field techs out to do a move out inspection. These are super detailed, just as detailed as the move in. So field techs will go out, they'll do their move out, they'll take pictures of everything. Everything gets uploaded into a really nice report. And then the property manager will get notified that move out inspection was done. So property managers will have 2 screens. They'll put up the move-in inspection versus the move out inspection, and they'll just kind of see what it looked like when they moved in versus what it looked like when they moved out, what we can charge the tenant for, and then what will be an owner's responsibility. We have 21 days per California law to settle that security deposit. So we'll need to get that sent. We also need to provide before and after pictures to tenants of everything that we repaired. So we'll do everything on our end, nothing you need to worry about there. We'll get estimates for owners things. If the property needs to be painted, if it's been a couple years, that'll be an owner expense. Maybe flooring hasn't been done in, 8, 10, 12 years. We may want to look at, we may want to look at replacing flooring too. We'll get estimates to get the property up to rent ready standards again. What habitability items should I look out for a landlord? So this one actually has quite a bit of information. The There's also a link here that I highly encourage you to just click on. It gives you all sorts of information. But basically a few things that we can consider uninhabitable or something to make a property habitable. We have to have waterproofing, weather protection, plumbing facilities need to be in good working order, gas facilities in good working order, heating facilities in good working order, and electric systems, including lighting, wiring, making sure everything is clean and sanitary, adequate trash receptacles in good repair, floors, stairways in good repair. And then in addition to these requirements, each rental unit must have all of the following: a working toilet, bathtub or shower, natural lighting in every room through windows or skylights, safe fire or emergency exits, operable deadbolt locks on the main entry doors of rental units, working smoke detectors, a locking mailbox for each unit, a GFC outlet. Yeah, I highly, like I said, the link for the tenant's guide is up here. I highly suggest you take a look at it. There's a lot of valuable information in there. And then the last one I'm going to do for this one is how we screen applicants. So we are looking for a 650 credit score. They have to make 3 times that rental amount to be qualified for the income portion. We will do a background check and then a previous landlord verification, and then we're just verifying their identity. The first person that is approved based on those standards would have the opportunity to move forward as long as they can move in within 15 days. I hope this has been helpful. I am going to do likely a part 2. There's quite a few other questions on here. There's also some for potential new clients, so maybe I'll just do a video doing those that we can pop on here too. That'll be helpful to reflect back on. But if you have any specific questions that I didn't go over, something that's not on our FAQs on the website, or just a question in general about property management, feel free to reach out to me. And let me know. I'm more than happy to go over any questions that you have. Besides that, I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.